I'm Joe Feola, and today is December 23rd. It's the day before Christmas Eve, and for our family, Christmas Eve is a very special time, right? We get together, we try to carry on the traditions that were taught to us by our mom and dad. So we do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. And that has kind of morphed a little bit since we first started it. We do the traditional bacala, the calamari, we do shrimp, we do lobster, we do smelts, we do some linguine with white clam, but the king crab legs have infiltrated Christmas Eve because a lot of the younger folks like king crab, so we've introduced king crab as one of our seven fishes. And I started doing this about 30 years ago after, we lost my mom, kind of in honoring her, the tradition of Christmas Eve. And this is like kind of the calm before the storm. We're going to be expecting 23 people. It's going to be loud, it'll be boisterous, and there'll be some wine and alcohol involved, but it's a time I really treasure. And then, on Christmas Day, we'll go to Uncle TJ's, and we'll have a little different meal where we'll have meat and pasta and things like that. So family is of the utmost importance to me, right? Because in the end, that's all you have is family, right? It doesn't matter about, the money or where we live. It's about us getting together and cherishing the moments, right? Because who knows, things change, people are not around forever. So it's a great way to, kind of share our love with each other. We move all the furniture out of the living room, and we put these big plastic tables in, right? Because it's kind of makes me feel good when everybody's together eating. We've talked about maybe doing a buffet, but the buffet doesn't work for me. We all sit in the living room, we move furniture around, and it's a lot of fun. We fry probably about 10 pounds of shrimp, and probably 5 pounds make it to the table. As we put them out, after they come out of the oil, people come by and try to taste them. So, and there's a lot of tasting going on. And you can see, just typical Italian kitchen, most of the people are in the kitchen versus being out in the other parts of the house. So, the shrimp is kind of a focal point when it comes to where everybody kind of gathers. I buy all the fish, probably 4 or 5 days before I have to soak the bacala, because the bacala is a salted cod, and in order to kind of get rid of the salt, you have to soak it. So I soak it probably 3 or 4 days before I start, and I try to change the water at least once a day. And this way, and now it's actually on the stove right now boiling, and as it boils it'll fall apart and flake, and then later we'll kind of prepare it and put it in the dish. Last night I cooked the puttanesca sauce, which is a green olive and caper. It's a red sauce. I only make it once a year on Christmas Eve. It's one of my favorite sauces that my mom used to make. And I cooked 5 pounds of spaghetti last night. So we'll do, probably half of it will be the puttanesca, and half of it would be white clam sauce. And we normally start the dinner by serving the pasta. And then once we eat the pasta, then I bring out the seafood. It's my favorite day, just with everybody getting together. And it's amazing how fast time flies. Been doing this for 30 years. And it's amazing to see, how all our children have grown. not just, you know, my kids, but the nieces and nephews, and how much they've grown to appreciate the tradition that we try to carry on. And I know that a lot of the nieces and nephews, this is also one of their favorite times of the year when we get together on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I remember my mother and Aunt Rita in the kitchen in aprons, you know, preparing all the fish. And on Christmas Eve, when I was younger, before I was married, you know, I used to go out with a few of my friends on Christmas Eve and have a couple, you know, Christmas cocktails. So, you know, there was never any question if I wanted to bring a handful of guys up, they were always welcome because there was always enough food for everybody. But, you know, I feel the love of my mother when I'm here. It was her favorite holiday too, so it's mine. It's important that we all get together and do this and carry on. You know, everybody's not going to be here forever, so we cherish every Christmas Eve we get together and, you know, have some food, have some laughs, you know, share the tradition.
Here we are, Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2025. You can see the chaos behind me. We have shrimp being fried, we have people eating and drinking. So this is right before we're gonna sit down and have dinner.
So I'm Roman, I'm 42. I like long walks on the beach, sunsets, and scuba diving. My favorite memory would be going back to Nana's house for Christmas Eve. And like, I remember throwing all the wrapping paper into the fireplace and really watching that fire get big. I remember Nana's elephant collection. But now I think my favorite thing about it is the way my taste buds have evolved, and I've become so much more of a fan of the exotic fishes that when I was a kid I did not like. I look forward to this meal, you know, for 364 days. So my favorite thing is the food.
Hi, I'm Chris. This is my sister Nicole.
You can start.
No, please.
Hello, I'm Christopher Feola. This is my younger sister, Nicole Feola.
I'm really older, but that's okay.
My favorite memory of Christmas Eve has to be coming in to the house, whether it was Nana and Pop-Pops or now Joey's, smelling all the fried shrimp, and everyone just trickling in and sitting at the table, grabbing drinks, getting comfortable, and just the love in the house as we're here is my favorite memory.
My favorite memory of Nana's house is after dinner, how all the different neighborhood people used to come in, and after we would exchange gifts, everyone would just hang around the table. There's a lot of laughter, a lot of wine. It's just fun memories, warms your heart.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And
the Capristos next door used to crash the parties. That's right.
And then I think my favorite memory from Uncle Joey's is watching my kids have grown up, and what I used to do in the kitchen at Nana's, they now do in the kitchen at Uncle Joey's. So it's just kind of full circle, and it's really cool to see. It's fun that we still do this.
See you next year.
I'm Uncle Tom, and I just want to tell the Feola story, how we got to Pittsburgh and where the tradition started. So our tradition started on 4th Avenue and 31st Street. That moved to our parents' house. Then we moved to Staten Island. In the interim, I moved to Pittsburgh. TJ went to Vietnam, came back. He was in Brooklyn with my parents for a while. Joey was growing up. He went to school in Staten Island. I talked to one of my friends. We got him in West Virginia on a baseball scholarship. He came up here. So TJ, Joey, and I were here. Mom and Dad were in Staten Island. They decided to come up to Pittsburgh. They moved to Pittsburgh. Mom and Dad were together about 10 years before Dad passed away. So we've been here in Pittsburgh for a long time. And it's been 30 years now since Joey had it. My memory is always us being together. There's nothing more important than us being together. The most important part of life is family. It's always been.
I'm Lori. I think one of my favorite memories is my very first Christmas Eve with the Feola family. It was the first time I met everyone, and everyone was really welcoming. And I remember doing shots with Sambuca with TJ and Uncle Tom. And I remember Leah wanted me to play with her new Barbie camper. And Brandy was just a tiny little baby. So that was one of my favorite memories just because I felt really welcome. And now I think my favorite part is just everybody being here. And I actually kind of really like the end of the night when we're just winding down and everything is done.
My name's Joey. I'd say my favorite memory, I wouldn't be able to tie it down to one, but in preparation I would always make mushrooms with my Aunt Rita. It's always the best memory for me. And then obviously the combination of friends and family coming together and the tradition going on 20, 25 years now. For me, it's very special.
My name is TJ Feola. I'm part of the Feola family. And I've had a lot of great Christmas Eves. I love the meal. My mother always used to make it. Now my brother Joey does it. But I have a funny story I want to say about Christmas Eve. I was a young boy, just on the verge of not believing in Santa Claus or believing in Santa Claus. So one Christmas down on 4th Avenue in Brooklyn, Uncle Sonny was playing Santa Claus. So he came out to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And I looked down at his shoes and I said, "That's Uncle Sonny's shoes." And Uncle Sonny said to me, "TJ, if you don't say anything, because I'll give you a knobbo off the top of your head." So Santa Claus threatened me, and I kept quiet. But that's the end of my story. But I love Christmas Eve. It's great to be with family and friends, and I hope they continue. We stay together for as long as we can.
Oh my gosh, wait, I'm nervous. I need a second. You're saying that part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it already rolling?
Okay. You go first.
Okay. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Ava.
And our favorite memory is eating the crab legs on Christmas Eve.
When our uncle Chris and our dad used to crack the legs for us and got all the meat out for us.
Yes.
I'm Lori Feola. I'm married to TJ Feola. And I started doing this at 19 years old. And I was a girl that had no Christmas Eve traditions. So my first one was in New York, and what a rude awakening. Lots of food I had never seen, but wonderful family time. And we've continued it ever since. And I'm well over 70, so it's been a long time.
Start over.
Hey guys, I'm Doug. I have not been around for 30 full years. I've only been around for 25 years. And Christmas Eve used to be a big deal in my family. And I never really, although we were Italian, I never did the 7 fishes. So when we came here, it was the first time I'd ever eaten all of these different fishes. And my earliest memory is being terrified that I was going to have to act like I didn't like the food. But when I got here, learned how to live with it, learned how to eat it all. But since then, been here for 25 years now, have gone through the kids, putting their pajamas on in front of everybody and wearing that. And now the kids are all the way up to 21 years old. And tonight is our newest favorite story is that I actually got to help cook. After 25 years, when we finally got the fryers up and running, I got to help with the shrimp. So I've been very lucky. You guys have welcomed me in. I've loved being here, loved being a part of the family. Looking forward to 30 more.
Are you already recording us?
Oh, Natalie, Mamma Mia! I'm Marianne Feola, and I am Joe Feola's sister-in-law. I'm married to his oldest brother, Tom Feola. and we've been married 43 years. 43 years in October. So I've been doing Christmas Eve quite a few years now. And as I grew up, Christmas Eve was something that we kind of did, wasn't a big deal in my family. It was all about Christmas Day, but once I came into the Feola family, it was so wonderful, and everybody got together and had this wonderful meal that went on and on and on, and everybody together. It was really, really, really fun to be around and be with everyone and have the drinks and the food and the laughter, and it just really became a special day for me.
That's lovely.
This is
and
my
I'm
daughter, Leah.
Leah Feola, and Uncle Joey is my uncle, obviously, Tom Feola's youngest brother. I've been doing this for my whole life, and I remember starting it at my nana's, which is our grandmother's house, and some fun memories, same thing, but when I was little, more singing and dancing and getting put up to do stupid things by the neighbors, but always laughing about it. And then as I got older, I really enjoyed the Feast of the Seven Fishes and the tradition that the family had carried over through the years, and all the fun we have and all the laughs we make and the memories shared. There's probably not one, but several. So Christmas Eve has always been my favorite holiday and probably will continue to be.
I just want to take a second and thank my dad for hosting my favorite night of the year.
I'm glad you were here. You know, I always love spending time with you, and I'm glad that you appreciate this night. It's a wonderful night for us and the family, and it's always fun when we get together.
I know one day these memories will mean everything to me. I love that when I think of Christmas Eve, the first thing that comes to mind is family and the memories we've created together. Thank you for being here, and Merry Christmas.